Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 6 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers. The Boston Celtics are back in action, looking to stretch their win streak to 5 games as they head to Indiana to face the Pacers. Fresh off a solid 119-108 win over Milwaukee, the Celtics showcased their depth and skill, with Jaylen Brown lighting up the scoreboard with 30 points, 6 boards, and 4 assists. Drew Holiday chipped in with 21 points, Jason Tatum added 15 with 8 rebounds, and Derek White rounded it out with 13 points and 8 assists. The Celtics were sharp, shooting nearly 50% from the field and an impressive 18 for 47 from beyond the arc, with a powerful 37-point third quarter securing the victory. On the other side, the Indiana Pacers are eager to snap a 3-game skid after a narrow 119-115 loss to Orlando. Pascal Siakam led the charge with 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, while Tyrese Halliburton kept things close with 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists. Despite shooting 46% from the field and 13 for 29 from deep, the Pacers faltered in the final stretch, allowing the Magic to surge ahead. Now at 1-3, Indiana has some ground to cover defensively and will be aiming for a reset against Boston. With a perfect 4-0 start to the season, the Celtics have been one of the league's early standouts, though they'll be without Kristaps Porzingis for this matchup. Indiana's Miles Turner and Johnny Furphy are both questionable, making the Pacers lineup a bit uncertain. Recent struggles have exposed Indiana's defensive vulnerabilities, particularly in their matchup against the Sixers, where Tyrese Maxey found open lanes to score. Halliburton has been solid but hasn't fully taken control in tight games, a key factor if the Pacers want to keep pace with top-tier teams like Boston. The Celtics, as reigning champions, are riding high, but close games, such as their narrow win over Detroit, suggest they're not invincible. While Boston has been winning comfortably this season, Indiana's home court energy and desire to break their losing streak could make this game a close one. Given Indiana's drive to compete and Boston's occasional vulnerabilities, I believe there's value in taking the Pacers to cover the spread. I'm backing Indiana to put up a fight, fueled by Halliburton and Siakam, and keep this game tighter than expected. The second prediction for today is for a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Cleveland Cavaliers. As the NBA season picks up steam, all eyes are on the showdown between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Los Angeles Lakers. Both teams have hit the ground running, bringing fans a clash that promises to be loaded with excitement, top-notch talent, and fierce competition. Cleveland came out blazing, starting 4-0 before narrowly falling to the Phoenix Suns, 109-105. This opening stretch has underscored their potential, especially after a solid road win against the Knicks. The spark for the Cavs has come largely from the backcourt duo of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, who've been putting up big numbers game after game. But Cleveland's shooting still has gaps, particularly with Max Strus sidelined. This has left the scoring weight on Garland and Mitchell. Defensively, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen provide the backbone. However, Mobley's offensive growth has stalled, and his development remains crucial for the Cavs to create a more versatile offense. Cleveland's attack is ranked among the top 5 in the league early on, though whether it can hold steady against tougher opponents remains to be seen. The Lakers, on the other hand, have opened their season with a bang, capturing 3 wins and only dropping a nail-biter against Phoenix. Wins over teams like the Timberwolves and Kings highlight their Western Conference grit. Under coach J.J. Redick, the Lakers' revamped offense is all about quick passes, low turnovers, and a high assist rate, making them one of the league's most efficient offenses. When role players like Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, and Austin Reeves contribute, the Lakers are tough to beat. LeBron James is still a dominant force, and with only a handful of games left in Cleveland, there's an extra layer of motivation for him. Anthony Davis anchors their defense, though his impact varies based on his intensity each night. The Lakers' defense remains vulnerable on the perimeter, leaning heavily on Davis to control the paint. However, their deeper roster gives them options, something they lacked in recent seasons. This matchup could come down to a battle of depth and systems. The Cavs have been steady against the spread at 4-0 this season, but show inconsistency at home, with an 18-18-1 record as favorites dating back to last year. The Lakers shine as road underdogs, with a solid 17-12 against the spread record. With a day's rest, the Lakers are well positioned to compete, bringing their best when they're not on back-to-back games. In my view, the Lakers' depth and new offensive flow give them a slight edge here. If Cleveland can't protect the paint against a fired-up Davis and LeBron, they might struggle. Mobley and Allen will need to be sharp to counter the Lakers' size and physical style. Although Cleveland holds the edge at home, the Lakers' strong form and LeBron's added motivation make me think the Lakers have a real shot. In what promises to be a nail-biter, I'd lean toward the Lakers covering the spread, with an upset well within reach.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The third prediction for today is for a game between the New York Knicks and Miami Heat. In tonight's showdown between the Miami Heat and New York Knicks, I'm expecting a gritty defensive battle that will keep both teams grinding for every point. Miami will bank on its solid defense to smother New York's scoring attempts, while the Knicks hope to showcase their new offensive look with Karl Anthony Towns in the mix. Here's my take on how things might play out. This past offseason, the Knicks made a bold move, trading Julius Randle and acquiring Towns, adding a needed range to their offense. Towns bring a reliable three-point shot that Randle lacked, giving the Knicks a fresh perimeter threat. However, Towns has shown some inconsistency, as seen in his last game against the Cavaliers, where he managed only 13 points and 10 boards. Despite this new addition, New York's offense remains a work in progress, even with 6 players scoring in double digits recently, including Jalen Brunson's hard-fought 21 points on a tough shooting night. They still came up short. The Knicks often rely too heavily on isolation, which stalls the ball movement and can make their attack predictable. For the Knicks to gain traction, they'll need to get more touches for players like Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, opening up their offense and putting pressure on Miami's defense. The Miami Heat, on the other hand, pride themselves on their defensive prowess. Though scoring isn't their strong suit, they rank among the league's best defensively, holding opponents to just 107 points per game, the 4th best mark. With Jimmy Butler leading the charge and Bam Adebayo locking down the paint, Miami is tough to break. They're allowing only 41.7% shooting overall and limiting opponents to 35.2% from beyond the arc, keeping their games tight. Miami also plays at a deliberate, slow pace, one of the lowest in the league, which favors their defense and keeps opponents from getting comfortable. This approach was evident in their recent 106-98 win over Detroit, where they kept the game in control despite scoring struggles. With just 105.7 points per game on average, they're near the league's bottom in offense, making it essential for them to keep the game in check and prevent New York from building momentum. As for tonight's matchup, I see a low-possession, defense-oriented game. Both the Knicks and the Heat rank near the bottom in pace, so don't expect many fast breaks or quick points. Miami's plan will center on locking down Towns' perimeter shooting and keeping Brunson out of rhythm, while New York will aim to break through Miami's defense with smarter ball movement. Considering both teams' defensive strengths and methodical pace, I'm betting on the under tonight. The Heat have seen the under cash in 6 of their last 9 matchups, and they've kept opponents under control in 4 of their last 5 at home. The Knicks, with their offensive struggles, also trend toward low-scoring games, which aligns with both teams' recent under results. Given these dynamics, I expect Miami to leverage its defense and control the tempo to edge out a win. Though the Knicks bring offensive potential with Towns and Brunson, Their current lack of ball movement and consistency will likely keep them from overcoming Miami's defensive intensity. My pick? The Heat take this one in a tight, low-scoring game. To the fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Orlando Magic and Chicago Bulls. Tonight, as the Chicago Bulls host the Orlando Magic, both teams are aiming to establish a rhythm early in the season, each with flashes of brilliance, but also gaps to address. The Magic have set a strong tone at 3-1, coming in with the momentum of a young squad looking to make waves. Meanwhile, the Bulls are 2-2, navigating their own set of challenges as they strive to build consistency. Let's break down what we can expect in this clash of dynamic, youthful lineups. For the Orlando Magic, this game marks a critical test in their journey to transform potential into consistent performance. The organization kept the roster steady over the offseason, signaling confidence in rising stars like Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. Last year's respectable 47-35 finish has laid a foundation, but now it's about proving they're more than a team with potential. They want results. Banchero has been sensational. His recent 50-point explosion, alongside 13 rebounds and 9 assists against the Pacers, sent a clear message. He's ready to lead. He's more efficient, and his physicality in the paint and versatility on both ends of the floor will be Orlando's main weapon tonight. Franz Wagner, though slightly slowed by early injuries, is gradually finding his rhythm and remains essential to the Magic's offensive and defensive schemes. With his two-way skills, he adds depth around Banchero. The recent addition of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has bolstered their backcourt defense, pairing well with Jalen Suggs' energetic play. However, Orlando's inconsistency in defense has been an Achilles heel, particularly in their loss to Memphis, where they allowed a 13-point gap. If they're to contend with Chicago's firepower, particularly on the perimeter, the Magic will need all hands on deck to lock down defensively. On the Bulls side, we're seeing a core that's mostly intact, featuring Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and now a mix of new contributors. LaVine is off to a hot start, averaging 26 points per game, which keeps him as Chicago's main scoring option. His athleticism and ability to create his own shot will be pivotal, especially if the Magic falter defensively. Vucevic, meanwhile, has been a force under the boards with 10.8 rebounds per game, bringing needed stability in the paint. He'll likely match up against Banchero, adding another layer to this contest, as his rebounding will be essential to prevent Orlando's second-chance opportunities. Chicago's biggest challenge lies in bench production. While Kobe White has been promising, bringing energy and shooting support, the bench has struggled to maintain the same momentum once the starters sit. Josh Giddey, still adjusting, brings versatility, but is in the early stages of finding his fit in the Bulls' rotation. Lonzo Ball's return is promising. He adds not only a steady playmaker, but also a defensive presence, though he's still getting back into game rhythm. The Bulls' ability to hit threes has been a bright spot, ranking 6th in the league at 38%, a critical element considering the Magic's shaky defense on the arc. Betting-wise, Orlando has been a bit unreliable against the spread, failing to cover in their past 2 games. They did secure an impressive win over Miami, but stumbled against Memphis and narrowly beat Indiana, falling short of the spread by a slim margin. This inconsistency may suggest a cautious approach is warranted. Chicago's season so far shows a pattern of alternating wins and losses. They've shown resilience, bouncing back strong with an upset over the Grizzlies after a tough loss to the Thunder. With both of their wins coming on the road, this second home game at the United Center offers a perfect setting to build some consistency and reward their home fans. Looking at recent matchups in Chicago, the Magic have had an edge, winning 4 of the last 6 games, but tonight marks the first time in years that Orlando enters as the favorite in the Windy City. While past trends favor the Magic, Chicago's familiarity with this matchup and home court energy could turn the tide. When it's all said and done, I think we're looking at a close, hard-fought game. The Magic have the offensive talent, especially with Banchero leading the charge, but Chicago's efficient perimeter game and edge in three-point shooting could tip the balance. I expect the Bulls to keep this one tight, and I wouldn't be surprised if they manage to pull off a narrow victory to give their home crowd a reason to cheer. The fifth prediction for today is for a game between the San Antonio Spurs and Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs are gearing up for an exciting matchup, each team bringing fresh energy and potential. The Thunder have made waves early this season, sparking talks of a playoff run, and there's a lot of buzz around this young squad's chance to push deep into the Western Conference. On the other side, the Spurs are in rebuild mode, fueled by the emergence of Victor Wembanyama, who's already captivating fans and showing flashes of brilliance. Let's break down what each team brings to the table and how they stack up. Oklahoma City has been a defensive powerhouse right out of the gate. With a defensive rating of around 90.8, they're clamping down on opponents, and that grit has set the tone for their season. Their centerpiece, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who played at an MVP caliber level last year, continues to drive the offense and has been a force on the floor, recently dropping 28 points on the Nuggets and flirting with a triple-double against the Hawks. Alongside him, Chet Holmgren has made an impact on both ends, pulling in boards and anchoring the paint with 2 double-doubles so far. The Thunder's depth has been a game-changer as well. Jalen Williams has stepped up as a scoring threat, and the roster's balance has made it tough for opponents to find any breathing room. Oklahoma City's stifling defense has contained even high-powered offenses, making them a true dark horse contender in the West. Meanwhile, the Spurs are finding their footing, but with growing optimism. Wembanyama, the towering forward center, has turned heads with his all-around game and defensive presence, hinting at the makings of a future superstar. Veteran Chris Paul, brought in for his playmaking and experience, is invaluable in guiding this young roster, particularly in helping Wembanyama refine his game. Paul's leadership and passing remain elite, providing San Antonio with both mentorship and offensive structure. Coach Greg Popovich, who remains at the helm, has faith in Wembanyama's growth potential and has built a support system around him. Harrison Barnes, a seasoned shooter added in the offseason, along with emerging talents like Jeremy Sochan and Keldon Johnson, rounds out the Spurs lineup with energy and scoring. Sochan has found his scoring rhythm, while Johnson is adapting to his role next to Wembanyama, likely to regain his scoring touch as he adjusts. Last season, the Thunder had San Antonio's number, winning 3 of their 4 contests and racking up a whopping 100-point margin in those wins. While San Antonio pulled off one home court win in February, the Thunder's dominance speaks to their upper hand in this matchup. For San Antonio, this game is a valuable measuring stick in their rebuild journey. They recently split a 2-game series with Houston and dropped their opener to Dallas, a sign of the usual inconsistencies for a young team finding its stride. Oklahoma City's defense will be a tough test, and with the Thunder ranking in the league's top 5 in nearly every defensive metric, this is a tall order for the Spurs. San Antonio, however, does shine at the free throw line, converting over 80%, which could be a factor if they can get to the line consistently. Oklahoma City, meanwhile, has room to grow in free throw efficiency, and if the game tightens, this could come into play. Still, with their suffocating defense and depth, the Thunder have a considerable advantage in keeping control. In the end, Oklahoma City's home court edge and tenacious defense make them the clear favorites. While San Antonio has potential and the support of a future star in Wembanyama, they're still finding their rhythm. I'm confident that the Thunder will keep their momentum rolling with another strong win. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The 6th prediction for today is for a game between the Portland Trail Blazers and Los Angeles Clippers. The Los Angeles Clippers are set to clash with the Portland Trail Blazers at the Intuit Dome this Wednesday, and I'm expecting this one to tilt in the Clippers' favor. The Clippers come in with a 2-1 record, showing solid momentum early in the season, while Portland, at 1-3, is still finding its rhythm. Don't discount the Blazers entirely, though. They've got some scrappy potential and could make things interesting if they hit the right notes offensively. Kawhi Leonard's absence due to a knee injury will shift the Clippers' strategy. Without Leonard, they lose their primary defensive anchor and offensive spark, making them lean even more on James Harden. Harden's ability to control the pace and create shots is critical, especially since he's still got that iconic step-back 3 in his arsenal. Harden's experience could carry a lot of weight here, giving the Clippers a steady hand in Leonard's absence. Meanwhile, Ivica Zubac, fresh off a strong 23-point performance against the Warriors, is a force inside that could challenge Portland's frontcourt. With Norman Powell stepping up with his own 20-point contribution, the Clippers' depth could prove to be a handful for the Blazers' shaky defense. However, their perimeter defense is still a vulnerability. Ranked 21st in guarding the three-point line, the Clippers could be at risk if Portland heats up from deep, as their shooters have been improving. Portland has been a bit inconsistent, sitting at 1-3, but their spread record at 2-1-1 suggests they're capable of keeping games competitive. With Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant leading the charge, the Blazers have the offensive weapons to keep the Clippers on their toes, especially with Los Angeles missing Leonard's defensive intensity. Simons, in particular, could thrive against a Clippers backcourt that's a little light on defensive power. Portland's rookie Scoot Henderson is still adjusting to the NBA level, learning through experience. Paired with DeAndre Ayton, he brings balance, though his shot selection and playmaking decisions are still developing. If he can find his footing, this backcourt duo might make some noise. Statistically, the Clippers hold an edge, averaging 111.3 points per game and shooting at 47% from the floor, which stands above Portland's offensive metrics. The Blazers' shooting from beyond the arc at 34.5% could be a factor if they can exploit the Clippers' perimeter struggles. Los Angeles, however, has been surprisingly cold from deep themselves, only making 31.9% of their three-point attempts, which could be a concern. Injuries will impact Portland's rotation, as Matisse Thybulle, Shaedon Sharpe, and Robert Williams III are all sidelined, thinning out their lineup, especially on defense. While the Clippers have their own injury concerns, Harden's presence helps steady their offensive efforts. His growing chemistry with teammates like Zubac and Powell could be crucial here. The Clippers' strong home record from last season speaks to their resilience at the Intuit Dome. Even without Leonard, their defensive tenacity at home could be enough to handle a rebuilding Portland team. Given the Blazers' limited depth and current struggles, the Clippers should have enough firepower to cover the 7.5-point spread comfortably.